Hey everybody, it is Super Ty. I am joined, as always, with my co-host, Comic Book Brando. We're going to be talking about all the cool books that are coming out tomorrow, which is January 15th. It's a little bit of a smaller week, but there's a lot of quality in this lack of quantity right now. There's a lot of trades coming out tomorrow.
This is a 5 Wednesday month, right?
Yeah, it's a 5 Wednesday, so the last couple of weeks are going to be way bigger. As usual, if you got any questions, comments, anything you want to ask us or tell us about, just put it in the little comment section. We'll be more than happy to answer it as soon as it catches up with us at some point. You never know.
You never know, you know.
Yeah. Dude, did you see the Morbius trailer?
I have not yet.
It looks actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And the New Mutants trailer looks really cool. There's like some other trailer. Oh, they did a Bloodshot trailer for the Vin Diesel Bloodshot movie. It actually looks really fun. I mean, it might be silly and everything, but it looks really fun.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm going to start off with a series that I've been really enjoying a whole lot. This is Legion of Superheroes number 3. This involves Robin joining up with the Legion of Superheroes, which I think is pretty cool. Another reason I really like this book is it doesn't show the Legion as they're established and, you know, they know everything what they're going to be doing. It's actually them kind of learning the ropes themselves, which I always kind of like seeing, you know, with like teams as, oops, we made a mistake here, and oh no, now I'm the leader of this planet because I beat this guy in a fist fight. So I really enjoy this series. It's really fun. I can't wait to see if Bendis just ropes in all the other Wonder Comics thing to have one giant story with everybody in it, but I've been enjoying this quite a bit.
I've been digging that as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what Robin's going to be doing in the 31st century.
He's having an interesting time.
I didn't know what to expect from this one. I kind of vaguely remember the Iron Man 2020 annual from like 1980 something or other.
Yeah, Arno Stark.
Yeah, Arno Stark. Well, this is Arno Stark. He has inherited, well, mostly inherited. He and Sunset Bane have taken over Stark because Stark was discovered to be, he basically came out as an AI in a life model decoy-like artificial being.
Okay.
So a big terrible thing is happening this year in the year 2020, and Arno Stark is the only person who really knows how to, like, knows that he can stop it. However, also the robots are revolting. The robots and AIs of the world are fighting back, and who's leading them? Some surprises and hilarious entrants from the Marvel's past.
Yeah.
And I told Ty when I read this, like, you are going to go nuts for this comic.
I'm really excited. I really want to see it.
I mean, crossovers, I'm usually so-so on, but I am absolutely on board for Iron Man 2020. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and you should check this out. This is, I don't want to say why you should read it, because that's a big spoiler, but if you're a fan of some of our favorite books, you're going to love this.
Oh, man, I'm really intrigued now.
I know, right?
James says he will watch the Bloodshot movie just to see if Ninjak appears. Who knows? They say that this is going to be the first movie in the Valiant universe now, so
I'm sure they'll throw in a lot.
I'm sure they're going to throw in a lot of stuff.
Try to throw some things against the wall, see what sticks.
My next one is Batman's Grave. Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch are doing a more detective Dark Knight story, but this one ratchets up the action a whole lot. This one is like a very fight-tastic issue.
Fight-tastic?
Yeah, so Batman's essentially been investigating this murder of this guy, and then he discovers all this like old money blackmailing happening, and now there's a doctor involved that has this really weird drug, or as Batman calls it, pharmaceutical, that can amp up people a whole lot, but it's not like Venom from Bane or anything. It's something new, and one reason I love this a whole lot...
Would you say he wants a new drug?
I'm not Huey Lewising in this. But I think my favorite part about this whole series is Warren Ellis writing Alfred. Because Alfred is like a snipey SOB in this. He is just like poking people in the sides a little too much. I'd read an Alfred series just by Warren Ellis alone. I think that'd be totally worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Low, Low Woods, number 2. Very creepy, haunting tale about two teenagers in the town of Shudder to Think. It's a failing town that is an old mining town that is destitute, and people are just too broke to leave, or too sad to leave, or just feel trapped there. However, there's something really odd going on. They woke up at the end of a movie and not knowing what happened during the movie. We're going to delve a little bit deeper into the mystery and follow some clues in this one and learn a little bit about the past as well. Very cool series. Like I said, very haunting, very creepy. So if you like the Joe Hill style of horror and suspense, this is a fantastic read from his imprint.
So James is asking about The End, of the new The End books that are happening, and I actually have one right here. This is Venom The End. So he's wondering if this is the actual final story for the character, if it's more of a what if. It's more of a what if kind of thing.
They did these a few years ago for Hulk, Punisher,
Wolverine,
X-Men.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's kind of like this is what the last story is like.
Yeah.
And they basically refute each other all the time. So in Hulk's, he was the last person. In Punisher's, he was the last person.
Yeah, and X-Men, it was more of like just a natural progression of what Chris Claremont would have done if he finished his X-Men runs and stuff like that.
So they kind of think of them as cool what ifs.
Yeah, future what ifs. And this one is insane. I like these kind of stories anyways, but this one is like a hard science fiction story. It gets into the whole idea that the symbiote is actually like a living computer that keeps genetic imprints of everybody it touches, but also like he can delve back into that, but also since he is like a living genetic computer or a tesseract, he can also kind of bend time within himself. And then it gets even weirder with like artificial super intelligences. Like if you read any of the House and Powers Vex, it gets into that kind of stuff. But then it also gets into even more crazy time bending kind of stuff. Like this whole entire issue, the way the story takes place takes 1.5 trillion years. It's really insane, but like the science holds up, I guess, for the science fiction of it. It was really good. I was just like, what concepts are they pulling this from, and how does Venom get all of this stuff? But it actually makes sense. I was very impressed with this. Pick it up. It's pretty bananas.
Yeah, the whole time I was like, what?
Yeah, but it works. It's so good.
I always like Adam Warren's writing, so it seemed pretty fun.
What else has he done? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I can't remember.
So the big thing he's worked on for the past few years is that Dark Horse book about the girl with the flimsy outfit. It begins with an E.
It begins with an...
They do graphic novels. It's like manga looking.
Oh, Empowered.
Empowered.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
He used to do Dirty Pair years and years
I remember
ago.
Dirty Pair.
He did some Gen 13 stuff. He did at least a miniseries for Gen 13.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a little bit outside of like, why is he doing the Venom book? But
It's great. I was very surprised.
Spider-Man: The Black Cat Strikes. So this is part of the Gamerverse. So if you're a big fan of the Spider-Man video game, like I am, this tells the story a little bit more detail about Spider-Man's adventure with Black Cat and also some of their past together that you didn't really get into in the video game. So this is the first part of that. She's stealing things from the Magia and finding key fobs that have little data drives on them. So what's on those drives? Even she doesn't know. But I remember the story from the game. I thought it was really cool, and now it's a comic book.
So you played the game.
Yes.
And I'm assuming. Did you get all of the different Spidey suits?
There's still some suits I don't have.
What's your favorite? Is it paper bag overhead Spider-Man?
The Amazing Bagman's pretty great. So the first thing I did, I unlocked, as soon as I could, I unlocked the classic Spider-Man outfit and changed back to that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, it's a great suit.
The new suit is really cool and very neat, but I'm a classic Spider-Man guy. So
Yeah. Well, when you say classic, is it like more black hues, or are they more blue, or?
Well, like, they have one that looks like straight up perfect Spider-Man outfit.
Okay.
But there's also like a really weird cell shaded one that looks like you're a cartoon and everyone else is
I
not.
saw that one. It looks insane.
That's really, I mean, I switched to that one when I got that. I was like, this is cool. Oh, it's really disorienting. I can't do this.
James says cell shaded is his favorite. So hey, there you go.
I liked it too.
Oh,
I thought it was fun, but it was very odd.
Oh, it's my turn.
It is your turn.
Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider #2. So Frank, after the last issue, he decided that, it's been too long since he's, actually done some punishment out in the universe. He did enough on Earth and everything, and of course the whole Thanos biz happened, but now he's just kind of loose, and he's like, you know what? There's some dirtbags in space that really need to be taken care of. And he now has a sidekick in the form of Cammy. If you ever read the first Annihilation book, she was a big part of that, or Avengers Arena, she was big in that too. And she is like his strategist to like, hey, these guys are bad, these guys are bad. It's fun, it's silly. They eat space burgers in this issue. There's this guy called the All King, I believe his name is, that's trying to hunt down Frank Castle's soul, so he won't do this anymore to his giant space drug cartel kind of thing. But only one person to get a Ghost Rider soul from, and that's Mephisto. So who knows what's going to happen there. I love it. It's crazy. It's silly. And that's Cosmic Ghost Rider to me. He's a fun character. Let's have fun with it,
James says the Civil War suit is awesome as well.
Oh, is that the red,
the Iron Spider?
The Iron Spider suit?
I agree, and in fact, I used the special power you get when you get this suit for the whole game.
Oh yeah?
Because it's super fun. You get the extra arms and
oh, nice.
Beat on everyone when you're surrounded by all these thugs.
Nice.
It's super good. So here comes old Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, as the title reads. So Jimmy's gonna go sit in with his psychiatrist for a bit and have a little chat, and we're gonna get a little bit to the different Jimmys that are inside of Jimmy's head. Plus, we get a little bit more of a glimpse of the past, including the day Jimmy Olsen got hired at the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
It's a Daily Boo Planet.
Daily Boo Earth Planet.
Yes. A mistake I will always make forever.
Nice.
No matter which one I'm talking about, I'll start to mention the other one.
So
super fun, very weird. I really
love
it's
a great series.
Matt Fraction's Jimmy Olsen stuff. It's very what is happening in this book? But if you follow along, there's lots of little hints of what you're seeing along the way.
My next one is Undiscovered Country number 3. So this book is also very crazy. The whole premise of this is the United States walls itself off from the rest of the world. Nobody knows what's happening there until all these other countries that are aligned with each other decide to infiltrate and see what's been going on. Now they throw a monkey wrench into this because one of the scientists on this infiltration team discovers that time doesn't work the same inside the walls of the United States. So if you've been reading this and you're wondering why there's all these land sharks and people with wings now, there's a reason for it.
Are we sped up?
I'm not giving everything away.
All right. Well, that sounds interesting.
But yeah, it gets really cool because, there's all this new technology used in the walls, like electromagnetic fields as well as the wind walls and all this other stuff. So I was like, cool, this is now shaping up to be a little crazier than I thought it would be. And of course, Scott Snyder and Charles Soule are doing it, so yes, there's going to be some crazy ideas happening. I still have no idea where this is going. I'm going to be reading every issue of this because it's insane. And the artwork's gorgeous as well. I can never remember his first name, Giuseppe Camuncoli and Danielle Orlandini are doing the arts for it. And it's...
He did the art for a crime book a while back, and I really liked it.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember what book that was, but it kind of knocked my socks off then, and that looks really sharp.
Yeah, it's really weird, and it just took a big old left turn into Crazy Town this time.
Population U.
Oh, I think my friend Lee is watching. Hey, Lee.
What up, Lee?
He's in Philly.
Lee in Philly.
Yeah.
He's Philly.
Oh, man. How did I not put that together when I was living there? Damn it.
It's never too late. The Question, The Deaths of Vic Sage. In this second issue, book 2, we're in the Old West, and we're getting to meet Victor Zsasz, who is wrestling with wrong and right, and the devil, and what good is a man, and who's truly evil, and just great
Victor
Western
Zsasz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then mysterious, he helps someone out, and a mysterious lady shows up, and crazy things happen. It's dark, it's brooding. I love the art, I love the story. It's a very cool, the many lives of Victor Sage kind of thing going
Yeah.
on. And some surprises and twists and shocks and just really cool stuff. All in pursuit of the man with 1,000 faces.
Well, the first issue was amazing, so
Yeah, first
I'm really
one
looking forward
was
to that.
more straight up the question. This one was like, what's going on here? Why are we in the Old West?
I'm down.
It's cool.
I'm down. My last single issue is Spawn 304. So this is the penultimate issue of this story arc, which is called like Spawn Hunt. 1 second.
Spawn Trek.
Hell Hunt. I'm sorry. Hell Hunt. So, if you haven't been reading Spawn recently, there's been a lot happening. So, Al Simmons decides to let the world know that there's a heaven and a hell, and they've been warring and using us all as pawns. In preparation for that, Spawn also broke off 5 pieces of himself as seeds and gave them to 5 random people, or are they random, to carry on in case he died when he started doing this whole big giant plan. One of those characters happens to be the Redeemer, who first appeared in, like, I think issue 22?
Something like that.
Yeah, like a character that's been along for a long time. And then, okay, more stuff happens involving a second Spawn that showed up a while back. Do you remember Jim Dowling? He's back. And crazier and crazier things happen in this. Todd McFarlane is really, like, aiming for the rafters with this one. Like, there's some really cool ideas that are being presented here. And, of course, Jason Sean Alexander, the artist of this, I don't think it would have been as good a book without him, because he really puts the atmospheric darkness to it all. And it's very scratchy and messy, like a Spawn book should be, you know? Like, it's, like, gritty.
I really appreciate a home run reference for Todd McFarlane.
Oh, I did it on purpose.
I liked it.
Yes, thank you. If you don't know what that is, Google. But yeah, like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I was off of Spawn for a long time, just because, you know, other things come up. I read other things, and, you know, Spawn, I read, you know, I have like the first 50 issues. I started rereading it about issue 295, and I was like, oh crap, I missed a lot of cool stuff. So this is actually really cool. I'm back into Spawn now. Like, 12-year-old Ty's back in it. Ciao.
Pachow. Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is DC's newest 100-page special. This is kind of for fans of what's going on in the TV series right now, kind of in the middle of the storyline, and this will give you a little bit more background info. There's 2 new stories and 2 reprints from the classic Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline, which, if you never read, is one of the most bonkers stories you'll ever read.
It's pretty bonkers.
It's for me, that was the first story. Was like, when is this thing gonna die? I was like, this guy just keeps coming back from the impossible and ridiculous.
Anti-Monitor and stuff?
Yeah. The last few issues, like, really again? But it's fun. It's good. It's classic DC storytelling.
Yeah, it's their giant cosmic insanity that happens.
Features everything, and Batman and Robin's in like one panel, and that's awesome. It's cool.
Yeah.
Focused on all these like new characters and a couple of classics.
And, you know, major deaths. So that was also one of the first time I ever read major deaths happening in a comic, like Barry Allen Flash and Supergirl. I was like, whoa.
Spoilers.
Oh, no. It's been out way too long. I know a lot of people are excited about this. Junji Ito has a new book coming out called No Longer Human. Now, this is a little departure from his usual kind of stuff. I know the title is creepy and this picture is creepy, but this is actually more of a biography about this guy who's living in Japan, and he just doesn't understand the world. He's not happy, he's not sad, he's just kind of there, and he dresses up as a clown to show the world like his perception of how the world is. Very strange. It was actually an adapted work from this other guy, and Junji Ito decided, kind of like when he did Frankenstein, this is kind of like an adaptation of a book that was used before, but it's a gigantic hunk of Junji Ito art, which I know everybody's super excited about. So, yeah. And not for kids,
Nope.
as most of Junji Ito's books aren't. So, that means there's some naked people. But yeah, it's very interesting looking. Obviously, I didn't have time to read it all before we did this, but I'll be checking it out so I can read it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hellboy Winter Special. I know winter doesn't exist in Texas, but for some people in the country, there's still such a thing.
Yeah.
This is really cool. We've got, because it's not Christmassy stories, it's just like cold winter tales
Right.
starring Hellboy. there's a ghost of a miser that shows up. There's actually 3 stories in here, and then there's
A miser.
yeah,
I haven't used that word, or I haven't heard that word said in out loud in forever.
and the Braithwood Boogum, which looks like that.
Oh, cool. That's terrifying.
And another story about a group of men that had to live their life with a very heavy thing on their conscience. Hellboy's in the first story, not in the other 2, but super fun, really cool. If you like chilling tales of winter horror, you should give it a read.
My next one, which I'm going to be buying for my nephew, is the Oz Complete Collection. This is actually, I believe it would have to be just Volume 1, because Scotty Young actually did a lot of Wizard of Oz books. This actually holds The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, issues 1 through 8, as well as The Marvelous Land of Oz, issues 1 through 8. So this is like 16 issues of story in here, and it's only like $15. Scotty Young's art, before he did, the Scotty Young baby covers and all of that, this is kind of like one of the things that put him on the map.
I think he was doing that when they started doing the baby covers.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was wrong.
Because I think the first issue had a baby cover.
Yeah, but this, I love Scotty Young's art, the scratchiness, the freneticness of it, and the scarecrow looks like, an actual scarecrow, and this isn't the movie Wizard of Oz. This is like actually Frank L. Baum's adaptation, where there's talking mice and Camilla the Chicken and all this other stuff. So if you've never read this, or if you have youngins that you want to get into books, definitely pick these up, because this is just good, fun, crazy stuff.
So in the Dollar Comics section, we're going to have the reprint of the first appearance of Ms. Harley Quinn. She shows up in an issue of Batman Adventures number 12, which a lot of folks mistakenly call Batgirl number 12. It's not what the book is. It's actually Batman Adventures, based on the cartoon where she actually made her debut.
Right.
She debuted in an episode called Christmas with the Joker, and then she showed up in the comics shortly thereafter because she was a huge hit. And now you can reprint a comic that could cost up to $600, $700 for $1.
Yeah.
It's obviously not that same value, but you get a full reprint of that same story, so you can pretend.
I found out some interesting trivia the other day.
Oh, okay.
You've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
I have.
Okay, so the girlfriend in that,
Yes.
okay, she played live-action Harley Quinn on the short-lived Birds of Prey live-action series.
Did not know that
Yeah,
was her.
I just found that out as well.
She definitely was not Harley-like. I think she was just like a psychiatrist in the show, wasn't she?
No, she turns into a bad guy.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did she wear like the makeup and?
No, she wears like really crazy clothes, but it's not the classic Harley Quinn kind of like look. But like, I was just like, oh, Mia Sara, good job.
Huh. I did not know she played Harley in that.
Yeah, she was also the wife in Time Cop.
I think I did know that at one time. Sort of forgot, but now I've been reminded.
On Sunday night, I fell into a very deep Wikipedia hole about like so many things.
You're like, what's Mia Sara up
Yeah,
to?
what's Mia Sara up to? And she was up to that. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this. This is the 6th volume of Lazarus. Greg Rucka's really crazy well, it's not really post-apocalyptic, very unhappy time of the future. If you're...
Dave says we should arm wrestle over the best book of the week.
Maybe.
The thing is, like, I know that the book I pick will be Ty's favorite book of the week.
Yeah, so...
Once he reads it, he'll go like, oh yeah, this one.
Yeah, so...
Iron Man 2020.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Anyways, Greg Rucka's Lazarus. If you're not familiar with this, it's a future dystopian book about class warfare and mostly wealth warfare, and it follows Forever, or Eve as she is called, where she's functionally immortal, kind of like Wolverine, and she's the secret agent / little sister of this family called the Carlisle family. So this is actually pretty far along in the series, where all the other families who have all the money in the world, they're basically their own governments. Huge fight happening between all that, and Forever and Joanna Carlisle are on the offensive now, trying to bust up some other families, but Eve has a backup plan that she didn't plan for herself. There's a clone of her running around to take over just in case she needs to. So I thought that was pretty interesting, happening with that. It, like, The single issue came out, God,
A while back.
about a year and a half ago. So they finally got enough to collect it. This is a very cool future dystopian kind of sci-fi. If you're into that kind of stuff, this is very awesome, as well as a really badass female lead.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got a trade here, Over My Dead Body. So it's sort of like a pulp noir. The daughter of a prison warden has fallen in with a deadly militia, separatist militia. And there's only one way to get her back, and that is with the deadliest killer within the prison, a man named Marco.
Huh.
He was a contract killer, and he's recently had an experience that makes him feel like he needs to redeem himself. So this is his shot. This is a chance to do it, but how far are you willing to go to make good on a life of misery and crime? Very cool stuff, very actiony and intense delivery of scenes. So if you want that kind of sort of like suspense thriller, not suspense thriller, action thriller, I guess you just call it. This is the book that you want to check out this week.
My last one is a book that's been out of print for a long time, but they finally put it back into print. This is Maximum Carnage, also a very fun beat-em-up video game with soundtrack by Green Jelly. Or Jello, yes.
The Y is pronounced with an O.
Yes. Yeah, I actually have all these single issues at my house, and I remember stealing them from my brother and reading them when he wasn't looking, because it was the 90s. Crazy Carnage and Venom story, as well as pretty much every other Spider-Man. Yeah, like Shriek. Yeah. But like Black Cat shows up, as well as, you know, Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, so it's back in print. So everybody that's always looking for single issues now have this option as well.
Nice big epic collection.
Yeah.
Heavy metal. Heavy metal this month has like a very cool sort of underground art theme to it. So it's sort of guest edited by Ron English, who did the a lot of the art with like the blank on the name of it, but like the fat rich hip hop Ronald McDonald did the smile with the Bodhi face.
Oh yes, that guy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Did all the fat cereal mascots. But he does a story in this as well, and we've got a sort of a gallery from Shepard Fairey, who does this cover and the Obey, Andre the Giant as a posse kind of stuff, and yeah, I think he did. Yes, very cool. Very. If you like Guzu Gallery and the things we have over there, this is going to be the issue of heavy metal you want to pick up.
That's it for all of the books. Do you got anything going on?
Tonight we'll be playing Dungeons & Dragons, which you can follow along on the Outlaw Moon Games Facebook page. Very fun campaign, some hilariousness and silliness for sure. I think we're gonna rob a casino or get into a gambling hall. Something like that.
Cool. What else do you got going on?
What else we got? This weekend is the Magic the Gathering Theros Beyond Death pre-release.
Cool.
We're going to do 4 of those, 2 on Friday at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. and then 2 on Saturday, one at noon, the other at 5. So if you want your first chance to play with the new cards, to make a quick deck with them, to compete to try to win more packs of Theros Beyond Death and get cool stuff, then you should let us know, show up for that. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. I have literally nothing going on. So...
Literally nothing?
Yeah. I mean, well, I have, like, stuff going on, but I don't have anything interesting going on. I'm going to HEB tonight, so...
Oh, man.
Yeah. I'm going to be meal planning.
Sweet.
Yeah, and then I got to look for a gym. Getting hefty. It's time to get back in shape.
Time to gym it up.
Yeah, so that's all the news I have, actually, right now.
That's exciting news.
I know, right? But you can hear about my adventures on at Super Ty Denton 1. You can follow you at
Comic Book Brandon.
You can follow both of us at Austin Books, and we will see you tomorrow or Thursday or Friday or Saturday, whenever we can. And yeah, thanks for joining.